All right, Harvey. Well, I want to thank you for joining everyone, all of our listeners today on another Conversations with Harvey. And I want to thank everyone else that's here and the security people. I want to thank you all for keeping us safe and doing these things in the ships. There's a lot of people here. I know you can't see them. We've discussed this in previous Conversations with Harvey. I can sense them, I can see them in my mind's eye. It's like a remote viewing session in the sense that when we do remote viewing, we see a mental image that's like semi-translucent, and we learn how to focus on that, and then it becomes natural for us to do that, and that's what we're doing. And these conversations are telepathic, so I am using the same facilities that all of our remote viewers use when they interact with people, extraterrestrials, especially with remote viewing and exchange thoughts. So Harvey's going to be talking to us, and he's representing the group of ETs that he works with, and he's helping us understand the situation that Earth is in. And we have a new mic set up, so I'm hoping that this works out pretty good. We have a improved. We learn with each conversation with Harvey how to get things a little better. So this is a new mic setup, and we're hoping that this works out well. All right, so Harvey, today's conversation, I really wanted to focus on neural engagement. Now, neural engagement is the term that David M. Jacobs used when he talks about people who have been abducted by different group of extraterrestrials. It's not your group, of course, but it's a different group, the ones that are seemingly associated with the oppressive extraterrestrials, especially the reptilians. And David Jacobs sort of doesn't really have a great focus on the reptilians. He just sort of knows that they're there. But we have, all of our work, realized that they're the ones they're the top dogs. They're the ones sort of running the show in that regard. And he talks about the idea of neural engagement, just so for everyone understands. That's when it's not a telepathic communication like what I'm having with Harvey, or what I'm going to have as soon as I stop talking. But it's where the oppressive extraterrestrials essentially violate free will by forcing telepathic thoughts onto humans, so that they do things. They get humans to do things. And he gave an example, David Jacobs gave one example where a person that he called a hybrid, which was a genetic mix between human and gray extraterrestrial. It's a weird name to use, but that's what he was using. And that hybrid was a male, and he was trying to understand human society, and he had a human female with him that was showing him through a shopping center, a store. And she said, well, we need a shopping cart. And the hybrid nodded and said, okay. And then immediately another human came over right away and gave him her empty shopping cart, and then she walked away and had gone off to get another one. And then the woman that this hybrid was with scolded him and said, you can't do that. You have to go get your own shopping cart. You can't just, and he said, but she won't remember. And she gave me her shopping cart. And she said, you can't do that. You can't just get people to do things. You have to do things on your own. And so the basic idea is that the oppressive ETs just think about controlling people mentally as a normal thing. And they don't think anything about it as being unusual. And I know you guys don't do that. But that's what we want to talk about. And in particular, the U.S. military, and eventually other militaries, will be should be very interested in this topic, because it's a way to confront their enemies through neural engagement. If they can defeat someone psychically, if they can defeat an opponent psychically, mentally, through psi weaponry, controlling them mentally, then they don't have to risk any loss of physical resources. And so the U.S. military really needs to understand how this neural engagement works and how to defend oneself from it, if it can be defended against, and how it's done. So that's what this is all about, and so that's what I want to ask you about. So let me shut up, and can you, okay, all right, he wants me to greet everyone first. He says it's a little abrupt just to go right in without him greeting everyone. Okay, I've done that, all right. So Harvey does greet everyone, wants to thank everyone for coming and listening. And I apologize for not, okay, I don't need to apologize, all right. So Harvey, can you talk about this neural engagement, what's done now? Let me tell you, before we start, let me tell you the plan for today. I don't know if you're going to go along with this, but the plan is for you to talk about neural engagement, and then I'm eventually going to ask you, through free will, if you or someone in the entourage could demonstrate it to me and to the audience by doing neural engagement with me, manipulating me in some way, and I give permission for that to happen when the time is appropriate. I really am trying to understand it, and so I can explain it to everybody else. And so, okay, you're willing to do that. Great, okay. So let me just shut up. Can you just talk a little bit about this neural engagement? I'm eventually going to ask you how you defend it, how you defend yourselves against it. Obviously, the security people have the ability to defend themselves somehow. So can you, let me just shut up. Can you just tell me what this neural engagement is? What is it all about?